Sussex, England, 1812. The pistol gleamed in the moonlight, its barrel resting against the carriage window with theatrical flair. "Your jewels or your life, my lady," the highwayman drawled, his voice velvet smooth beneath the black silk mask. Lady Genevieve Astley didn't scream. She sighed, snapping her fan shut with a click. "Must you be so dreadfully cliché?" Behind the mask, his eyebrows arched. "You're not frightened?" Disappointed, she corrected, leaning forward to let her diamond necklace catch the lantern light. "Your jewels or your life, really, has no one ever taught you creativity?" His laugh was low, dangerous. "Most ladies swoon at gunpoint. Most ladies haven't endured Lord Pembroke's poetry." She flicked her wrist dismissively. "If you're going to rob me, at least make it memorable." The highwayman tilted his head, moonlight catching the stubble along his jaw. "Fine. A wager." He snatched her necklace with lightning speed, the chain slithering through his gloved fingers. "Guess my name before the season ends, and I'll return these." Genevieve's pulse jumped. "And if I fail?" "You owe me a dance." He tipped his tricorn hat, the shadow obscuring his smirk. "No pistols. Just you, me, and a proper waltz." She should have demanded her jewels back. Instead, she smirked. "Deal. But when I win, I want that mask too." The carriage lurched as he vaulted onto his horse. "Careful, princess," he called over his shoulder. "You'll miss me when I'm gone." As his silhouette vanished into the dark, Genevieve touched her bare throat, and grinned. Genevieve's POV. The Marquis of Blackwood stood across the crowded ballroom, his cravat tied with irritating perfection. "That's him," Genevieve hissed to her cousin, gripping her fan. "Blackwood?" Her cousin snorted. "The man owns half of Sussex. Why would he rob coaches?" "Why indeed?" She cut through the dancers, accidentally spilling champagne down his waistcoat. "Clumsy," Blackwood murmured, catching her wrist. His thumb brushed the exact spot where her pulse had raced during the robbery. "Terribly sorry," she lied, batting her lashes. "Perhaps you should remove it?" His grip tightened. "Perhaps you should stop playing games." "Where's the fun in that?" She leaned closer, lowering her voice. "Tell me, my lord, do you always let thieves touch you so freely?" His eyes darkened. "Only the ones who owe me a dance." The orchestra struck up a waltz. Blackwood's hand slid to her waist. "Pay up, Lady Astley." Blackwood's POV. She fit against him too perfectly, her rosewater perfume drowning out the ballroom's cloying scents. "You're staring," Genevieve murmured. "Admiring my stolen goods." His palm burned through her silk gown. She stepped on his foot, hard. "That's for the diamonds." He spun her into a shadowed alcove. "Worth it." Genevieve's POV. She cornered him in the library, backing him against the shelves until leather-bound volumes dug into his shoulders. "Admit it," she demanded, yanking his cravat loose. The scar from her nail the night of the robbery glared up at her, thin, white, perfectly placed. Blackwood didn't flinch. "You've been imagining me undressed, Lady Astley?" "I've been imagining you hanged," she lied, her fingers tracing the scar. His breath hitched. "Liar. Prove it." In one motion, he flipped their positions, pinning her against the shelves. The scent of brandy and ink enveloped her as his lips grazed her ear. "You want confession? Fine." His voice dropped to a whisper. "I dreamt of you last night. Not as my victim, as my accomplice." Her fan clattered to the floor. "And," she breathed. His teeth scraped her earlobe. "You were magnificent." Blackwood's POV. Her pulse rabbit under his thumb. "Tell me to stop," he challenged. She arched into him. "Never." The library door creaked open. "My lord?" A footman stammered. Blackwood didn't move. "Get out." Genevieve's laugh was breathless. How very highwayman of you. Genevieve's POV. Blackwood stole her into the gardens, his grip firm on her wrist. The distant orchestra faded as he backed her against a marble statue, the moon casting silver over his scarred knuckles. This isn't a waltz, she protested, her breath fogging in the cold air. No, he agreed, one knee sliding between her skirts. This is forfeit. His mouth crashed onto hers, hot, insistent, tasting of brandy and sin. When she bit his lip, he groaned, the sound vibrating through her like the night he'd whispered, "Your jewels or your life." "Tell me your name," she demanded against his lips. "You know it." His hands found her waist, lifting her onto the statue's pedestal. "Blackwood," she gasped as his teeth scraped her throat. "Try again." "Jack." He stilled. The name hung between them, raw and intimate. "Say it again," he ordered. She fisted his hair. "Jack." His kiss turned punishing. Blackwood's POV. She was ruining him. Her legs locked around his hips, her moans sweeter than any stolen gem. He should have walked away that first night. But God help him, he'd rather hang than stop. The pistol shot cracked through the misty dawn air, sharp as a whip. Genevieve's scream tore from her throat before she could stop it, raw, terrified. Blackwood crumpled to the wet grass, and her heart lurched into her mouth. No. No, no, no. Then the bastard rolled onto his back and grinned up at her. "Blank cartridges," he drawled, tossing the pistol aside. "Just like the night we met." Relief hit her like a bucket of ice water, fury boiling up in its wake. "You absolute bastard." She launched at him, gloved fists pounding his chest hard enough to bruise. "I could kill you." Blackwood caught her wrists, his grip unshakable, his thumbs brushing the frantic pulse beneath her skin. "Admit it," he murmured, laughter still dancing in his voice. "You were worried." "I was furious." She wrenched against his hold, but he only yanked her closer, until her knees straddled his hips and her breath came in furious little gasps. The morning mist clung to her lashes. Or maybe it was something else. Same thing. His mouth found hers before she could snarl another insult. And damn her traitorous body, she melted. The fight drained out of her in a rush, replaced by the heat of his lips, the scrape of his stubble, the way his hands slid up her back like he was memorizing the shape of her. When he finally pulled back, her fingers were twisted in his cravat, her pulse galloping. Blackwood smirked. "Knew you'd see it my way." She bit his lip. Hard. This time, he was the one who gasped. The highwayman's black silk mask hung above their bed, framed like a trophy, or a warning. Moonlight caught the edges of it through the open window, casting delicate shadows across the rumpled sheets. Genevieve traced the familiar curve of it with her eyes as Blackwood's hands, those wicked, knowing hands, brushed the nape of her neck. Cold diamonds settled against her skin, their weight both foreign and intimately familiar. "Still think I'm predictable?" His voice was a low rumble against her ear as he fastened the clasp. The necklace, her necklace, once stolen in a moonlit ambush, now reset in gold and draped around her throat like a claim. She turned in his arms, their noses nearly brushing. Dreadfully, she lied, her lips curving. "But you're mine now, so I suppose I'll keep you." His laugh was dark, rich as stolen wine, and then she was on her back, the sheets cool beneath her bare shoulders, his body warm and heavy above her. "Prove it," he challenged, fingers already seeking the ties of her lace-edged chemise. She arched into his touch, but her hands caught his wrists, not stopping, just savoring. "You first." A dare. A habit. A game they'd never tire of. Blackwood's grin was all teeth. He bent his head, his mouth trailing fire along the line of diamonds, down to the frantic pulse at the base of her throat. "Still a thief," he murmured against her skin. "Just better prizes now." Genevieve's breath hitched. "Liar." She tangled her fingers in his hair. "You stole my heart ages ago." And you, he said, lifting his head to meet her gaze, never asked for it back. The mask watched from the wall as she pulled him down, and the diamonds burned bright between them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.